about staying in front. We have to think about that. Keep the ball, keep the man in front of us. I said, Steve, what's your message to the team at half?
I mean, Steve Kerr talks about staying in front of the ball, and right off the bat, Buddy Hield just gambles. He got the foul. If he hadn't fouled, it would have been Anthony Edwards to the rim.
Randall, that extra pass in the corner to McDaniels. And it's Podziemski with a rebound. Here comes Hield now. Hield, Podziemski, Butler, Green, and Jackson Davis. Same five on the floor that started the game tonight. This has been the starting lineup for Golden State for the last 3 games. Stephen Curry injured in game 1, hamstring injury. And the Wolves have not lost since. Podziemski running the
plan. They're going to be very aggressive. Not only do they blitz Anthony Edwards, they blitzed Mike Conley on the last one and force them into their 11th turnover. They've got to be able to get their defense going and score off of it.
Steve Finch had a similar message. This is an opportunity for Minnesota to wrap up a series in 5 games and not even give the Warriors a chance to get Curry back on the floor. As Podziemski hits his 3rd. He coming off just 11 points on 0 for 4 shooting from 3-point range in game 4. Conley's had the hot hand, and he stays that way.
Conley just able to flare back and knock it down. His 4th 3 of the game.
Unexpected offense from Mike Conley.
That's what the Warriors are going to need, is some unexpected offense.
Butler, series of fakes, takes a tough shot, missed it. Gobert clears the rebound. Up ahead, Randall. Randall's been running the floor. Ball's moving now. Edwards steps into a 3. Cash! And those first 5 minutes not going as planned for Steve Kerr. Podziemski.
Back to him for the 3.
10 made threes for Minnesota. Is that in 16 minutes? Draymond Green up top for Butler. Well-executed play.
That defensively breakdown in communication on how they wanted to handle that flex screen.
Wolves took out the Lakers in 5.
They almost need the Timberwolves to shoot themselves in the foot and turn the ball over. And right now, the Timberwolves seem willing to oblige.
Buddy Hield, no good. Gobert knocks it their first 16 3-point tries. Butler gives it right back. Minnesota closing well. Shot clock down to 1. Buddy Hield gets around Randall, did hit the rim. And Gobert secures at a foul. Leading by 16 points in this closeout game. Edwards loose with the ball, but secures it. Different from one half to another, and he's off to a good start.
Yeah, over
here
12
half number 2.
points a game different between the first half and the second half as the Warriors come out and turn it over. Oh.
I think they're saying a deflection by McDaniels.
Okay.
And now Green for 3, and no good. Gobert clears it away. Those are those numbers you're talking about, Coach.
Listen, almost 20 points a game in the second half, though, on 64% shooting. And he's 1 away from his playoff career high of 9 assists, but that's also his 4th turnover of the night.
And it's knocked out of his hands by Conley.
13 turnovers from Minnesota.
Pull him out for game 6. Jimmy Butler hits them both.
Well, the first thing you've got to do if you're the Warriors now is you're going to have to string together some stops. Minnesota, pretty simple. Take care of the ball. It's going to be hard for this Warriors team to come back.
Came back healthy from that adductor injury. They've been a different team. Nice move by DiVincenzo. Wow. Looking to pass. He ended up scoring.
Great footwork in the paint. That's something comes from Villanova. Something that Jay Wright worked on very hard with his guys.
Literally every day.
And Karl Anthony Towns. You don't see that often, but Dante DiVincenzo's right. That was a win-win trade.
Podziemski's got 16. He's buried 3 threes, having his best game of the series. Where is the scoring going to come from outside of Butler? That's a major question for Golden State. Minnesota up 15. That was their halftime lead. And now Edwards looking for Gobert. Gobert, mismatch inside, missed it. Randall's got an offensive board. Randall Just keeping the ball here. Randall trying the corner for Minnesota. Here's Butler. Gives it up. And a mid-range jump shot. Almost an air ball. Just grazed the rim. They didn't reset the shot clock. They should have. Podziemski lets it fly and hits another one. It works. Undeterred, knocks down his 4th three-pointer. He's got 10 in the quarter stand.
Yeah, and they've got it back to 12. They're not going away.
DiVincenzo gets by Podziemski. Podziemski goes right back at Randall. Shot fake. Kuminga, three-pointer flies. Offensive rebound healed. And McDaniels with those long arms, able to get the deflect. 3 points. He made 9 3-pointers in that game, tied a playoff record with Dante DiVincenzo. And then Hield backed it up with 24 points in game 1 of this series and made 5 threes. Gobert gets it inside, no contest.
Even though he was here by the time it happened, he's the one who put that roster together. And then he came right here and has them now go ready, right on the precipice of going to the conference finals for the 2nd straight year as Anthony Edwards ties his career play assists.
18-point Minnesota lead. 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Minnesota just too tough right now. Podziemski's been most of the offense. Santos secures that air ball. And in the corner, that is Kuminga. No good. Gobert with a rebound. Here comes DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo had his pocket picked by Gary Payton II. And we got a whistle. Pep talkish then.
No. That one, no.
No.
He was very, very upset on the
Quarter.
Oh, yeah, he's been fantastic all night, but that play wasn't good, wasn't well executed.
Spencer up there for the rebound. Another chance here for the Warriors. And Kuminga hits a 3.
18 second chance points to 0 second chance points for Minnesota, but the way the Warriors have limited second chance points, Minnesota scored on all their first chances.
It's one of those good news, bad news stats. Edwards. Randall offensive board put back.
Well, that's 2 second chance points.
Just wanted to clean up the stat sheet for you, Stan.
Absolutely.
Kuminga left wide open. Comes up short. Randall with the rebound. Approaching the 3-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Wolves trying to put the Warriors away in 5. First elimination game of this series. Here goes Edwards. Step through. Edwards, good. He's in game 2 in total control. He's missed his fair share of layups. Most of those coming in the first halves of games. He's had back-to-back 30-point games as Kuminga explodes to the basket. Hit some key 3-pointers. Open up this quarter with Minnesota up 21 as Quentin Post
Executed too. Steve Kerr and his bench like that one. They haven't always loved their execution tonight coming out of timeouts. There they got exactly what they wanted.
Kerr giving Moses Moody and Quentin Post some run to start this 4th quarter. See if he can catch a flame here. And here's Conley again. Missed it. Post with a rebound. I was kind of hoping he'd make that just for Lauren's sake, you know.
I mean, the players need to understand that.
Don't want to have her wearing a jinx. She would never do that. Moses Moody drives, cut off, but a little turnaround. No, but Guy Santos is there.
He averaged 11 points in his first 6 playoff games. He's averaged 1 in the last 5 coming into tonight, and he's now 1 for 18 from the floor in this series.
Inside, Naz Reid. Post is there defending, and Reid able to score that. Great Post at 7 feet. Presents some size, but Naz Reid able to score.
That's just great patience and footwork.
Post again, open for 3. Ooh, missed it badly. Browns that backboard. Here comes McDaniels. McDaniels spring-loaded. And Podziemski trying to take a charge. McDaniels turns it over. Podziemski And now Guy Santos. They're getting some looks. They just can't make the three-pointers.
And they're making great effort.
As Randall goes in and scores. And Minnesota with a 20-point lead. Moses Moody got it.
Wow.
It's got to feel good for him. He's against the Wolves.
Well, it's hard to stay on the floor when you're making no shots, and especially without Steph Curry, you need to find guys who can make some.
Warriors had a hard-fought opening round series win against Houston. Houston was the 2 seed. Warriors went 7 with it. Moody ducks his head and goes
At the quarter, and now it's already been cut to 14.
15. Led by 21 going into this fourth. Here's McDaniel, stops on a dime, and Butler secures. Here come the Warriors. On a run here with this group on the floor. Podziemski gets to his left hand and off the back.
Seconds of the fourth quarter.
Minnesota had 2 excellent closing quarters, the second and the third, and a miss on the other end. So Golden State playing for their playoff lives, trying to get this back to San Francisco for a Game 6 on Sunday. The 3 days off between Games 5 and 6. And will Curry be able to return if they can get there?
On Anthony Edwards, a good look by Podziemski, and Quentin Post just didn't handle the pass.
Edwards and Gobert, and now trapped, and that's going to be a foul.
Out at midcourt.
Now Edwards gets into the paint. Edwards able to lay it in. Minnesota needed that one. Podziemski right back on the attack. Post. And he throws it away. No, Jimmy Butler there to save him. Butler kicks it to Podziemski. Driving on Gobert. Inside, outside game. Post can't hit. Santos keeps it alive.
Say, Guy Santos is a relentless effort player.
Good to get those guys some airtime.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. No anonymity for those guys.
7.5 to go in regulation here. Warriors on a flurry. Start this fourth quarter. Randall just goes to work, backs down Santos, and that's going to be an offensive ball. Is 12. They had led by 25. And now Moses Moody springs free, and he hits a three-pointer.
Steve again coming out of that timeout. Outstanding execution.
Single-digit lead for Minnesota now. Just as it looked like Golden State was down. Now Anthony Edwards. Podziemski going right back at him.
And we showed you the difference between the first half and the second half with Anthony Edwards, and he's already got 13 in the second half tonight. Another Warriors turnover, and it's
Randall's got 23, Edwards with 19. And Kuminga takes it away from Edwards.
It's Edwards' 6th turnover on the night.
Moses Moody drives, McDaniels turns him back. Podziemski will try his hand, got that quick release, and he scores with a left hand. Got to his stroke. They're 23 now for Golden State. Moody guarding Edwards. And Edwards turns it over again. Moody gets to the basket, and
Bob McAdoo in Miami. That is a D
and 3
Las Vegas at the Liberty. My daughter and her fiance are Liberty season ticket holders.
That'll be a fun time in Brooklyn. Here is DiVincenzo, air ball. McDaniel saves it. Edwards fires, and back iron gets a long rebound. A third chance. Edwards, no.
But they can't just get over the hump and put the Warriors away, mainly because they're not taking care of the ball. 20 turnovers or more for the 3rd straight game.
Randall backing down Butler. Fires it to Gobert. Gobert inside, no good, but a foul.
But he's got 15 right now going into this free throw. He's still got, here's the Gobert thing. He's now in the 2 points. In the other 8 playoff games, he's averaging 5.6.
Warriors turn it over. Podziemski trying to get it back to Green. Here's DiVincenzo. Gobert lays it in. They give it away. Minnesota with the lead. Up 13. Podziemski. Excellent 25. His best game.
Did was get Rudy Gobert off the floor.
Yeah, Chris Finch, he's going to wait till that 2-minute mark, you would think, to bring him back in. And so Minnesota trying to add to their lead. Randall goes to the basket. 13. Podziemski drives. Podziemski with no Gobert. That's put back by Butler. Big putback. Under 4 minutes to go. Minnesota up 3-1 in this series. Chance to send Golden State home, and McDaniel. Anthony Edwards, 10 assists for Edwards. McDaniel's the high flyer on the receiving end.
That is a new career playoff high in assists for Anthony Edwards.
Podziemski, bounce pass to Draymond Green, no good. There's Edwards. Randall running the floor. Randall puts it in. Butler moving fast. Got to get shots up. Butler is fouled.
Great look and a great pass.
From here at Target Center.
You close out games by defending, not afford to make the mistakes they've been making here.
1 out of 2. McDaniels hits them both. The lead is back to 15, which is where it was at the half. Podziemski races down the floor. Kuminga for 3, no good. Moody, offensive rebound. And McDaniels is there for another steal. Gives it right back to, he was falling out of bounds. Kuminga with a dunk.
Would have been about a back-minute game. You want to win consistently at the highest levels, you got to play it for 48 minutes. Not for 45, but for 48.
Plenty of examples prove that point as Randall drives to the basket, lays it in. Podziemski gets to the paint. He is fouled.
Butler, they needed everything.
Free throw. 2 out of 5 from the line. Podziemski's got a playoff career high 28. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. Minnesota leads it by 13. Trying to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals for the 2nd consecutive season. Steady by Conley, gives it up. Here's Edwards now. Edwards drives and is fouled. Got a big. We're looking forward to that.
Led by you, and I can't wait to see you on the coverage of your first tennis major.
Led is, that's probably not the right word. I'll be there. I'll be there reading the promos. There's the block. Podziemski with Conley on him. Clock ticks. Jimmy Butler wide open for 3. Short. Season. Moody stuck in the corner. Moody drives. DiVincenzo. In game 1, after the Warriors traveled for 2. It's going to be as steady as it gets at the line. His first free throw.
Night of the playoffs in their first chance to close out at home in 21 years.
Key 3-pointers for Conley tonight. He made 4 of them.
Seems like Mike was playing in the league the last time the Wolves closed out a game.
Almost, as Kuminga hits a 3-pointer. Ball control for Minnesota. They're starting to feel it here at Target Center. They're waving goodbye to the Golden State Warriors. Minnesota is formidable. Since March 1st, they've been one of the best teams in the NBA. And now they're going to have a day with either Oklahoma City.
Best, and
well, it's been an honor to sit by you, Coach. And a lot of those familiar faces and voices that you've seen through the years on TNT will be continuing on with the NBA, including our inside guys. But yeah, it's the end of the. Ready for the victory lap. And the Timberwolves are going to advance to their 2nd consecutive conference finals. It'll be their 6th, 4 in the last 2 years. And what a series that is going to be. That's a ball game. Minnesota.